In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the newest patch coming to SMITE, Darkness Falls. Now, this is going to include a bunch of new skins and the battle pass and all that good stuff, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the skins. The first one we have is the Crusher Cabrakan.
Let's smash some nuts!
Ooh, I really don't like how that's super muffled, but this is going to be available in the Mixer store, so part of that little, not an event, but that bonus thing. Basically, you watch Mixer, and you get, like, points towards the Mixer store or something like that. I don't know.
I choose who I bring to Valhalla. Nobody else. If anyone has a problem with that, they can leave.
I just realized that's Thanatos. I thought this would have been like, I don't even know until I read Valkyrie's Rage Thanatos. So I believe that's the first gender change skin in Smite. I could be wrong. I know in Paladins, Pip has a skin where they did a gender change, but that might be the first for Smite. Let me know if I'm wrong about that.
5 isn't enough to sate my bloodlust.
Beast Within Cucullin. Again, really didn't think that was Cucullin. I guess I assumed Fenrir because I saw the wolf. I need to start reading these things. Terror of the Deep Scylla. This looks amazing.
Look-sees, friends.
Oh,
We don't have to be famished anymore.
It sounds...
Look at all the critters who have come to visit.
Sounds... Oh my... Sounds amazing, too. That voice pack is fantastic. Whoever did that killed it. Heretic, Cernuno. Oh, Cucullin and Cernunos, okay.
If anyone sacrifices themselves freely, I might consider sparing your friends.
I feel like they haven't had a Cernuno skin for a while, so it's good that he has one. All three of those will be in the Darkness Falls Battle Pass, and then we have a Twitch Prime exclusive for Desert Dragon Neath. Another Neath skin, oh my gosh. And no voice pack to that, so I guess it's just the default. Snuggly Artemis, oh gosh. Oh, you imagine like a Chiron Artemis duo lane. I know that just practically wouldn't work at all, but just imagine it with both of their rainbow skins.
Fluffy and I are dressed to cuddle. Who's with us?
And then we have, that's going to be available to the Council of the Gods, which I think is an event coming the second week of April. I'm not sure. We'll have to read more on that, see if it's in the patch. And then we have Depths of the Atlantis Nox.
It's been so long since I've surfaced. Not long now, and this whole place will be underwater.
I think it's a little too similar to her regular voice pack, but I really love the like crown they put on her. This type of theme really fits with her since she covers her face, and obviously they can just slap that on there to cover her face, kind of like a Cthulhu vibe, just a little bit. And then we have Spectral Blade Pele. This looks like a character straight out of World of Warcraft or something. I don't know what it is, it just screams WoW to me.
What is this place? No matter. I look forward to the challenge.
Maybe not even necessarily WoW, but just an MMORPG type of game. All of that's going to be through the Battle Pass. This is the Depths chest. So we got Battle Pass going from this one, the Cernunos, Scylla, and Cucullin. So all the really dark and scary ones, essentially. So the first week of April is going to be the Darkness Falls Battle Pass from the Depths chest, Mixer store, and esports content. And then come the second week, Council of the Gods. These dates are tentative and subject to change. So I'm guessing the event... I'm guessing this is an event, and I'm guessing it won't come out until the second week. Clicking on a party member's avatar will now bring you to the party menu for that player. We have some new cosmetic items right here. Announcer packs, loading frames, Blood Moon Global emote, the Depth jump stamp, pedestals, loading screens, recall skins, avatar. I'm guessing this is all going to be in the Battle Pass. You usually do one of everything. You get an announcer pack, global emote, jump stamp, loading frame, pedestal, loading screen, recall, avatar title, 2 avatars, a level up skin, and some cosmetics. So the jump stamps for each item, ward skins for Pittsburgh Knights, Renegades Dignitas, Snuggle Party pedestal, Valkyrie's Rage loading frame. New items added to the Mixer store. We have the Crusher Cabrakan, Party Pool Party Jingwei, I should say, Foxy Lady Daji, and Cosmic Soul. So the Crusher Cabrakan right here, like I said, will be in the Mixer store. We have some bug fixes right here. I'm not going to go over them per usual. If you want, you can go ahead and pause that and read them yourself. Project Olympus. So new player XP. Players will now receive rewards for completing co-op matches, although a reduced rate from normal matches. XP at 100%, Faber at 30%, Battle Pass points at 10%, Worshippers 100% up to rank 4, and then 0%. Console experience. Console players will now be able to use a set of... Console players will now be able to use a new set of VGS inputs for communication with other players in game. Entering the VGS command will bring up the new console's virtual keyboard so players can type custom messages. Okay, well, let's read this first. The bottom communication is the same location for all platforms mapped in the respective buttons in those spots. So the problem I have with this is I feel like there's going to be too many people that are wanting to BM in game, and they're like, let me just send a nasty text right now. And by the time it takes them to type it into the keyboard, they'll be standing still and they'll probably just get killed. I can see that happening a lot, so we'll have to see how that gets incorporated. So UI updates, daily rewards no longer reset when the player misses a day. Fantastic. Daily rewards must now be claimed by the player in the store under the featured page instead of auto-claiming. The client-side store has been updated with a new art style. PC players can now call roles through the UI, other game modes besides Conquest. Your high-res support ID is displayed in your profile now. Okay, so the Mixer store, a new tab has been added to the store. So basically, if you go over to store, you can now choose Mixer to access the Mixer store. Players can link their SMITE account to their Mixer account to earn Mixer points by watching official high-res streams, so that's like any high-res game. Players earn a total of 600 Mixer points will unlock the Crusher Kabrakan. You do not need to spend points to earn this skin, so the Crusher Kabrakan is basically a reward for just accumulating points, and you don't have to actually spend them. There will be a rotating set of skins in the Mixer store that can be bought with Mixer points. You do spend points to earn these skins, but it will not decrease your total toward unlocking the Crusher Kabrakan. So for ranked, looks like we have a good bit of changes here. Matchmaking returns, oh boy. Players will now be able to see their ranked MMR or ELO when viewing their ranked stat page. Matchmaking ranking will not be visible to others in the client unless they are masters or grandmasters. MMR will now be visible through the API, allowing external sites to obtain players' MMR. I'm just not used to calling it MMR. I'm so used to ELO. Players can set their profile to hidden to prevent this. Duo queue for ranked Conquest returns. Players will be able to party up with a friend and queue in ranked. We have adjusted the rules from the last time that this was possible to ensure the matchmaker can make quality matches. I know back when I played ranked duo on console, like this was forever ago. This was probably like season 3, honestly. It was never, ever equal. There was just so many varying skills in the game that it was just, it was like playing a casual arena for the first time. It was that bad. So hopefully that's adjusted. Players in Platinum 1 and below. Players can queue with anyone with 200 MMR of their within 200 MMR of their current one. Players in Diamond and above can queue anyone with 50 within 50. So players will no longer need to play 10 qualifying games for when first starting out at the start of each split. Players without a previous split ranking begin in Bronze 3, climbing up the ladder and by playing a winning game. So no more qualifying games. That was another problem I had, because the qualifying games are the ones that really, really sucked and were very, very lopsided in terms of skill. During soft resets, players will reset between Bronze 3 and Gold 1, depending on their MMR at the end of each split. In the new system rank, in the new system rank will be a better measurement of progression than skill. Players should look at MMR differences between players as a way of judging their match quality. It is possible that many people in different ranks could be paired together as an intended part of the system. Updated TP gains and tier skipping. Increase the bonus from being a tier division that is far away from your matchmaking rating. Adjusted the rules for tier skipping and on promotion to be less aggressive. Lower the amount of wins needed for the 50 gem reward for each split from 70 to 50. And then for role queues, the primary role will indicate the role you most want to play. The system will prioritize getting as many players possible their primary role. Priority points only reset upon getting your primary role. So now provide a primary and secondary role choice. Players will be able to see how many priority points they have on the queue screen. Players with the most priority points have the highest chance to receive their primary role. First pick will always receive their primary role. Second pick will always receive their primary role unless the first pick had the same role selected. In this case, they will get their secondary role, and then, so on and so forth. Custom games. New pause option has been added. Players can pause the game at any time, even during combat. This will allow for the match to be affected the minimum amount by a player who needs to pause. This feature is intended for scrim-style games where all 10 players have agreed on the rules and will use the pause only in case of emergencies. So that's cool. That's really going to help out for like scrim games, obviously, like they said. New assault map. Okay, so we had an arena update before, then Clash, then Conquest. I think that's how the order went. Could be wrong, and now we have assault. So Ragnarok has come and gone, transforming Asgard in the process. Assault map is entirely new art set and some mechanical changes as well. The main goal for Assault gameplay changes is to encourage more fighting. Some new areas and objectives have been added to the map to prevent stalemates to ensure the battle keeps going. Thank you. Because everyone loves Assault, and I always despised it for the reason that it is virtually no skill. It's whoever gets the best team comp and wins the team fights, essentially. So hopefully not just a single lane. Maybe it is a single lane, but maybe a little bit bigger. Do they have camps and stuff like that? We'll have to see. Decrease the cost to reroll your god from 50 gems to 25 or 250 favor to 125 favor. Updated the Season 5 Conquest models as well as... that's the same thing. Oh, for Titans, Phoenixes, and Towers. For Titans and Phoenixes, sorry. And then for Towers, updated the Assault Towers with new artwork and decreases its physical power by 15. Minions, updated Order and Chaos in the Season 5 Conquest modes, increased the health and protections to match Conquest minion stats. Vital Orbs, added a new type of objective around the Assault map, so here we go. The map will start with 2 of these that spawn in the center of the map, and a new one that will spawn in the corner of the map after each tower destroyed. Players only need to walk into these to collect them. Orbs respawn 60 seconds after being collected, and what they provide is 15% increased movement speed for the player who picked it up for 10 seconds. So a nice way to get the hell out of there after you just picked it up. Increased your health and mana, 15% instant health and mana heal for the player and allies within 60 units, so it's probably best to kind of group up and go get that orb, and a 1% health and mana regeneration per second aura for 10 seconds around the player. This affects all allies within 60 units, so this is going to encourage people to not like, do you go, do I go, do we go, do you go, is it my turn, do we attack, do you attack? You know, you've been in those Assault games where it's like a stalemate for 10 minutes. This is going to encourage everybody to just group up, run. Whoever gets it, you probably won. So the Primal Fury in Conquest. The new Fury rotation adds more decision making for the Conquest objectives and requires players to push their advantages in different ways. Increase the damage dealt to jungle camps from 5 to 7% on the buff gained from killing the Primal Fury. Spirit Minions added a new minion to the duo lane, I'm guessing called the Spirit Minion. One Spirit Minion will spawn as part of the first wave only in the duo lane on each side of the map. Spirit Minion stats, 34 kill XP, 50 HP, and 5 physical power. So we have new jungle rules. Killing jungle camps on the opposite side of the map now provides less XP and gold. The amount is decreased by 33% as the match starts, and then decreases linearly over time, becomes 0% decreased at 15 minutes. So basically, prevents people from just invading very early on, taking all the buffs, snowballing, and having a pretty much guaranteed win. At least that's what I gather from it. Visual feedback on objective kills. The accolade for killing the Gold Fury will now display text specifying if it was the Gold Fury, Primal Fury, Oni, or Oni Fury. When a Fury is killed, it will now display to enemies as well with different text and art, and will specify which type of Fury it was. When the Pyromancer is killed, it will now display to enemies as well. Same with the Fire Giant. So for item changes, the Aussie gets a complete rework. It seems we took a look at the item. This item needs to provide takeover boost. Most cases over. Okay, so builds from the Balance Blade. 2,550 gold, 20 physical power, 20% lifesteal, 25% attack speed, 15% penetration, and if you drop below 35% health, you gain an additional 30% physical lifesteal for 5 seconds. Can only occur once every 15 seconds. Okay. So power, okay, that's interesting. Each of all builds from Hunter's Bow, 2450, 30 physical power, 30% attack speed. Every successful basic attack increases your physical power by 15 and reduces the enemy attack speed by 10. This item has always been focused on improving boxing capabilities and keeping the identity going forward. Rather than reducing power or damage dealt, we are focusing on its direction to be anti-attack speed. So for this one, in most cases, these items were either dominant due to the early advantage. Aussie and Each of all have been reworked to full tier 3 items, giving hunters access more full-fledged items. I guess I kind of understand it. Ao Kuang, or Ao Kuang, depending on how you say it, decreased the attack damage from his Dragon's Recall. Used to be 35 to 95, is now 30 to 90. Bacchus, his Drunkometer, decreased the damage mitigation from 7% to 5% while tipsy, and 14% down to 10% while smashed, so a pretty decent nerf there. And then he also gets a decreased damage in Belch of the Gods. Used to be 25 to 85, is now 20 to 80 per tick. So Bacchus getting some nerfs. Bacchusura, description now shows deployable duration, decreased the duration of cone autos from 6 seconds to 5 seconds, and then decreased the CC immunity from 1.5 to 1 second on his Regurgitate. Fenrir, his Unchained, decreased the base damage, used to be 95 to 335, is now 75 to 315, and then decreased the amount of cooldown decreases on successful hits, used to be 50%, is now 30%. And his Brutalize ability will now always cleave, reduces the cleave damage from 75% of total to 50, and then at max runes, this ability will deal an additional 15% of your physical power per hit. Freya, I believe, will get nerfs. Oh yes, decreased the base damage from her Northern Lights, used to scale from 11 to 75, is now 10 to 60. Decreased the slow by 10% and decreased the minion explosion damage by 25%. Also decreased the range damage on Aurora Blade, scaling from 15% down to 10% per hit. On Bats, the ability now re-hit minions, but wait, this ability can now re-hit minions, but still only hits gods once. Sacred Monkey. I always hated that about Hunbats. At first, I didn't know, and I would throw it out, and it would just hit like one minion each, and I'm expecting it to bounce between the two, and I'm like, well, that was pointless. So that's a nice change. Jormungandr, his physical protection goes from 18 to 21 on his base stats, and then the World Serpent, which is his ultimate, decreased the cooldown, used to be 120 to 100, is now 100 at all ranks. King Arthur looks like to get a lot of changes here. Decreased the melee bonus damage on his overhead slash, used to be 50%, is still 50% at max rank, but it scales from 30 to 35, 40, and 45, so 5 each rank now. Twin Cleave and his Blade Storm decreased the energy gained from 2 to 1.5 per hit, and then his Sundering Strike and Excalibur's Fury, both abilities now cost 40 mana. Marlin Eclipse reduced the initial hit scaling from 70 to 60%. His Frostbolt, Gem of Isolation, now applies after Frostbolt does damage and does not get the bonus damage unless the target is slowed previously. Reduced the bonus damage by 5%. Blizzard fixed several issues that were causing this ability to do much more damage than intended. And then Flicker increased the cooldown. It used to scale from 22 to 18, is now 24 to 20. So I had a feeling Combat Blink was going to be nerfed, and definitely was. Naja, Wind of Fire Wheels, added a note that enemies caught in this effect do not count as being CC'd. Decreased the base damage per hit, used to be 40 to 120, is now 30 to 110. And then decreased initial landing damage from 80 to 280, is now 50 to 270. Finally, the Universe Ring Toss decreased the protection debuff, used to be 15 at all ranks, now scales from 10 to 14, so an overall just major nerf to that one. Pele, her Eruption decreased the inner damage, used to scale from 80 to 260, is now 70 to 250. Volcanic Lightning decreased the initial damage, used to be 200 to 520, is now 180 to 520, so just decreased the initial damage at the start. And oh, wow, we got a lot of changes here. So Ra increased the physical protection per level from 2.5 to 3 as his base stats. Ram decreased the mana cost from 80 to 100, as now 60 to 80 on his Pick Me Up. And then finally, Vaman decreased the base movement speed from 380 to 375. Armored Umbrella decreases the base damage, used to be 85 to 305, is now 85 to 285, so a little bit less late game. And then his Umbrella rank decreased the attack and movement speed slow from 35% down to 25%. That is going to be it for this video, guys. Pretty lengthy patch, a lot of changes in terms of god balances and stuff, and a lot of skins. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and hit subscribe for more content. The PTS will not be out tonight, so I won't be able to get all of the skin videos out until sometime, maybe tomorrow if they get it up, maybe this weekend, but it will be up shortly, so be on the lookout for those, and thank you for watching.